Yes, it does.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Ninja Robot Podcast. I am your host, Shane Allen, and I am accompanied this week by our Chief of Marketing,
Stan the Man, Stan Dmitriev. Pleasure
Stan
to
the
be
Man.
here.
That's what they call him. So it's 5 p.m. here in Finland right now. Actually, it's a little bit over. We started a little bit later. But this is the Ninja Robot Podcast. All right. This is a weekly podcast where we discuss all of this week's topics in maker, robotics, games, arcade, esports, and surrogate news. And you'll see the categories right there as we go through them throughout the podcast. If you are listening, we had some feedback last week that we want to have more information about the news segments. So you who are listening can just listen along and actually maybe learn something. You didn't learn too much maybe from the last one. It was more opinions.
Hey, we had Tom Cruise.
We had Tom Cruise, though, the actor, if you're confusing with the spaceman. But yeah, so like our first episode, we will start with our first topic. If you have any questions, this is the change. During our live stream, you can post it here in the YouTube chat, and we will answer at the end of the stream. And then also, at the end of the stream, we're going to show you something really cool that we got sent from a robot maker. So that's something to stick around for towards the end of the at the end of the stream. But yes, let's go to our first topic, maker news. Actually, I spoke a little bit too soon there. The first thing is we're going to talk about what's the hottest thing this week. We already did the animation, but... So anyways, from The Verge, I got this news. Today, Google's parent company Alphabet and Japanese tech giant SoftBank announced a minor milestone in their efforts to make flying cell towers a reality. Running a stable LTE connection from a solar-powered drone 62,000 feet in the air in the stratosphere. It was a good enough connection to support an international video call with participants from Japan and America. The test is a part of a partnership between Alphabet's Loon and SoftBank's HAPS Mobile that was first announced in 2019. Loon, which is best known for balloon-based cell towers, provides the communication payload, while HAPS Mobile builds the aircraft.
But wait, so does it fly constantly? Like it uses solar power and flies endlessly, or?
Yeah, it just flies constantly around the world and gives internet.
So endlessly flying around.
Endlessly flying.
Cool, because I remember the Project Loon. It was like they were using, what are the balloons, hot air balloons,
Yeah, the
to do
blimps.
the same.
Yeah.
So I guess they're moving to solar-powered planes.
Yeah, I've actually seen a few sort of makers making their own versions of these in smaller scale, and they can fly with solar power for 24 hours.
Cool.
They don't have to take them down.
That's interesting, because I guess you cannot kind of keep the capacity in the battery, so you kind of have to constantly generate that energy to provide.
Yeah, they claim that it's high definition and low latency, but they didn't provide any details of the speeds. But to give you an idea of where they are flying at, it's in that yellow zone there, the stratosphere, which is just above the troposphere, where planes fly. And then from up there, they can get like a not much atmosphere to go through, but they kind of hang there with the sun constantly. They're above the clouds, and then they can stream down. You can see there in with the internet. That's
Pretty
big thing.
cool.
Yeah, so I mean they've had these running for a while, and Facebook and others have been doing it. But this, I guess, is a first for having an LTE connection that high up.
Yeah.
Because I know my mobile phone doesn't work on the plane when I'm using it.
It's
so.
interesting because now we got a battle between planes, between satellites, like Elon Musk project. What's the one? Starlink, I think it's called.
Right. Yeah.
So who's gonna win, the planes or the satellites?
I mean, this would definitely be easier to get up. You don't have to get out of the Earth's atmosphere. You can kind of just fly these up and let them glide. Like you saw in the video, they just come from a normal airstrip and then land back on an airstrip when they need to. So I think this is a really interesting thing. It's going to get really huge when they get this all working properly. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if there's some makers who are going to do something with LTE and even maybe have a lower orbit with these gliders that are solar paneled.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, like it doesn't necessarily have to be that high, I guess at night, but there was a maker I saw who did this and it had enough charge to last the entire night and pick back up on the sun in the morning.
That's crazy.
So it's really cool. Cool times that we're living in. All right, so this time we are finally moving to maker news. It was correct now. So now I have the animation. All right, so maker news. This is a news segment. We're on to highlight makers that we've seen this week who are doing some fun and amazing things. So this week we saw this guy, Muito Buitarho. And I'm going to try to play the sound through here. I'm not sure if it's going to work.
Crazy guitar rig? Oh, there we go.
So I got this on Hackaday. So this Muito Buitarho adds an electric guitar pickup, a set of speakers, and an amplifier board, along with a battery pack into the body of a cheap acoustic guitar. He then dismantles this Zoom effect pedal, reassembles it back into the guitar itself with a 3D printed cover, combining the guitar, the effect pedal, amp, and speaker into one standalone instrument. Then he added a Raspberry Pi running Sunvox next and threw on a touchscreen to control it on the fly. This Sunvox is a free, but unfortunately not open source, cross-platform synthesizer and tracker that this guy uses to add drum tracks and extra instrument effects.
So he's got a full-blown studio right there on his guitar, basically.
So if you watch the whole video, he goes through and he adds drum tracks, and he can mix an entire song just on his guitar.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so what Hackaday kind of made the joke was you show up to like a party and you want to show off to the ladies. You don't just bring a guitar, you bring one of these probably. So you can see here, it's completely all on the LCD screen. You can mix it all just in his guitar. So I guess if you sit on the side of the road with one of these, people might throw you some coins.
Yeah, that's. Oh wait, so you can do multi-tune, so you can add like multiple beats, like but with the guitar sounds, I guess, or also other stuff.
This apparently the Sunvox free synthesizer and track maker does drum tracks and extra instruments and effects. So yeah, you can do everything with this guitar.
So you can have a full-blown.
Yeah, and he's even got his
concert.
lighting effects hooked up to the thing.
Yeah.
Like it's all from his guitar. So this is a really interesting thing.
Very packed acoustic guitar. That's not acoustic.
That's an acoustic. Well, now it's not.
Not anymore.
All right, and the next maker we saw this week was a guy named Bingo Fishy on Reddit in the R 3D printing. And I got this from Hackaday as well. He claims that this is the most portable 3D printer, which was built for their high school summer project. The printer is almost entirely self-contained, running an Octoprint controller with built-in hotspot, which allows print files to be sent into the unit over smartphone. The motion platform is built out of a DVD stepper motor and rails, some motors, and provides about 3 hours of runtime. So yeah, it's a battery-powered, small little 3D printer.
I wonder how long does it last on the battery? Did they mention that?
3 hours runtime.
3 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what you can. I mean, because of the scale, I guess you can print a lot of stuff, but very small.
Yeah. So you can print some. It says here some small parts out in the field, or I don't know. A college robotics team could have these at contests and just whip up parts on the fly. But I mean, still, you're kind of be waiting a few hours for a part. But I guess if you need it really quick, that's probably the only way you're gonna get it. So yeah, pretty interesting for a high school summer project, this Bingo Fishy. But yeah, you can check it out on Reddit in R3D printing. Now we're going to move on to our next topic, which is robotics news. All right. This first piece of news I found on a website called howtomechatronics.com. And it's a website where they have all of these Arduino projects and tutorials, and they created this Skara robot arm using a 3D printer and some really basic, easy to find and low cost parts like an Arduino and 4 NEMA 17 stepper motors. You can find the whole tutorial on their website at howtomechatronics.com. But it's a pretty nice, low-cost way of maybe doing some really cool stuff.
So is it open source? Like you can make
Yeah,
your
they
own?
have the entire, all the files are available. They made them in SolidWorks. You can print them all out yourself, and it's actually low-cost stepper, as you see there, and then some NEMA 17s.
But I wonder if does it change the angle of the hand, or does it stay always like bottom down? Kinda?
So it's bottom down.
Okay, so it's like a crane you could kind of.
Yeah, so I mean
consider.
you can do a lot of tasks like a picker bot, and but I mean you could add probably some 2-axis or 3-axis thing on the end of it, so you can build on top of this.
Yeah.
Because it is all open source, and yeah, this website, How to Mechatronics, really cool website. Check it out. They got tons of tutorials. I didn't actually personally know about them until I was researching this a bit. But yeah, everything's there.
It looks
really
like
nice.
really smooth. Like the way it moves looks pretty professional as well. Like the electronics they use. Like usually a lot of times it's like the like one going pretty like clunky, but these ones look pretty smooth.
Yeah, pretty nice. All right, and we'll go on to the next in robotics news. This one comes from the University of California, San Diego, and I got this off of techexplore.com. Engineers at the University of California, San Diego have built a squid-like robot that can swim untethered, propelling itself by generating jets of water. The robot carries its own power source inside its body. It can also carry a sensor, such as a camera, for underwater exploration. Essentially, we recreated all the key features that squids use for high-speed swimming, said Michael T. Tolley, one of the paper's senior authors and a professor at this UC San Diego. This is the first untethered robot that can generate jet pulses for rapid locomotion like the squid, and can achieve these jet pulses by changing its body shape, which improves swimming efficiency.
That's pretty interesting. I wonder what is the main like the use case. Like, are they just trying to mimic like animals to kind of learn from how like the animals like do movements, or is there like some other goal? Like, are they trying to actually take a squid and like try to act like, hey, I'm one of the squids in the ocean?
Yeah, from what I got from these, I read a couple news on this. It seems like it's to do some underwater exploration, to go deep down and find things, and then shoot back up and maybe recharge and then go back down.
Okay.
As far as I understand, somebody can correct us in the chat if we're wrong, but either way, pretty cool little bot. Unfortunately, you can't control that in real time, which is kind of what we would want.
Hey, UC San Diego, let's talk.
Yeah, really the only way you could control that real time would be to have a wire come off of it up above the water and have a transmitter, which then sends off to the internet, and then you could hook it up to like something like Surrogate. But yeah, underwater,
The connection goes away, like the Wi-Fi and wireless connections, right?
Yeah,
Underwater,
Wi-Fi
they
just
don't
won't go through water.
Yep.
It's you maybe get this deep and then it kind of fizzles away. But yeah, that's from University of California, San Diego. You can check it out on techexplore.com is where I picked up this story. Pretty cool stuff. All right, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is gaming news. All right. This week, we have some pretty cool stuff here. The first one is coming from Star Wars Squadrons. It's a first-person flying game where you are inside the cockpit flying and shooting. It has full VR support, but it's not required. It is priced at $40. I've unfortunately not been able to try this yet. It just came out just in the last week. But if you're getting a VR headset soon, Stan, you could try this out.
But it's like...
But
and
Essa's freaking out behind the camera here.
So
it looks pretty sweet.
So wait, so is it like it works on both Oculus and HTC Vive, or do you don't know?
It just says VR support. So
Okay,
I
so
think it's
probably
across,
most of
it's
that.
probably across everything.
Okay.
Steam VR.
Steam VR. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably where it is. Yeah.
Well,
so,
we gotta check it out. It definitely looks cool.
Yeah. So it's like it seems sort of like what was the name of that game where you could fly around space forever?
Eve Online.
Eve, was that what it was? Eve Online?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this looks kind of like, I don't know how open of a world this is because I haven't played it, but it looks kind of like that.
I
and
guess
you're in like an X-Wing or in a TIE fighter, I guess.
I guess here it's more about fighting. Like in Eve, it's more like you have these intergalactic missions, but here it's more like about combat.
I don't know. I bet there's missions in this too. I mean, it's
That's
Star
true.
Wars.
Well, we gotta check it out.
Capture the princess back, or you got Cloud City here, and I don't know. I think this looks awesome. So
It does look awesome.
What's that?
Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous.
Yeah,
What is that?
That's the one you are referring to.
It's like an open space that just
Open
keeps.
VR space.
Okay.
All right. Well, we gotta check this out.
Yeah, I have to dust off the old Oculus Rift, maybe for this game. All right, now our next game news that came out this week. Nintendo is being sued by an 8-year-old boy for Joy-Con drift. I got the story from GameSpot. Many Nintendo Switch fans have experienced the sad phenomenon of Joy-Con drift. You've heard of this, right?
No, what is that?
So Joy-Con drift, I have a video here. So here's one on a Switch Lite, but
Yeah.
it's on both of them. Right now, on the left side, that joystick is supposed to be the one that pushes you forward,
Okay.
and the right one is for steering.
Yeah.
But the joystick is stuck.
So it does. Oh, it gets stuck on going to a certain way. So the
Yeah.
Joy-Cons get stuck.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's pretty ghetto, and everybody's been complaining about this since they came out.
But is it only on the Lite version?
No, it's
or
on both.
On both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nintendo has apparently screwed this thing up.
So they really
Uh,
gotta fix that one.
And they've been sort of keeping the news down, but people have been complaining, and finally they are being sued by an 8-year-old. So this 8-year-old was furious. So yeah, where the analog stick and the controller starts to veer in one direction, making it difficult or impossible to control games. There's currently a class action lawsuit against Nintendo for this. So yeah, this
I can imagine it getting pretty annoying. Like, imagine you're like playing a game and you're like on the last level and your controller gets stuck when you're about to kill the final boss, for example, and you're like,
and you just walk right into them.
yep,
Die.
and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, but here's interesting part of the news. The plaintiffs, the 8-year-old, are seeking $5 million in damages from the lawsuit. Now, I'm assuming that's a mix of maybe a lot of people sort of syndicating for the lawsuit. Because I mean, sorry, kid, you ain't getting $5 million bucks. For your
8-year-olds,
joysticks.
right? The kid is a.
Yeah, but obviously he's not the lawyer, and I think his parents probably pushed this entire thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I mean, I
But
can
yeah.
get the frustration. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, probably during the corona and everybody's playing their games and they're finally like, you ruined my day. I'm stuck here on this
like
game all
when
day.
you get really serious into something and then you just cannot finish the game or win a level, or especially if you're playing online and this happens, I can feel it. I can feel the people.
I can feel the pain, but not $5 million worth of pain. But this isn't the first time. I looked this up. It was like any other time some kids have sued Nintendo. And I did find that a kid sued Nintendo a while back, some 9-year-old, who sued them over a baseball game.
Why?
Because they got the game expecting that they could choose players, like the names of the players.
Okay.
But they got the licenses in this game for the teams, but not for the players. So all the players were numbers, not names. And then the kid sued, and his dad was a lawyer. I think we know who pushed it, and tried to sue Nintendo twice.
Did
and
he
they
win?
lost. No, they lost.
Okay.
And then there's another one. Some other kids sued over a controller giving them carpal tunnel, the original NES controller.
What is
Carpal tunnel, it's like the your joints. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, I don't know.
okay.
I've never had it.
So
but
it affects your joints somehow. Okay.
yeah, I don't think they won either. And then Kid Icarus, that old Nintendo game, gave Kid epileptic seizure, and they sued. I don't know if they won though.
I remember with the Wii, when the first Wii came out, there was issues with the remote that you would throw it by
And hit
mistake.
the TV.
And they would actually
Yeah.
they actually had to add to every single Wii this wristband so it would hold the remote.
That's true.
And
They didn't have that in the beginning,
and
did they?
Yeah, and at first they actually had to give out to everybody who bought a Wii before that, because it was pretty dangerous. You throw a remote far away, you're playing tennis, and your TV is
Well, I
down.
guess that's probably the best recall you could have. You just give everybody some shoestrings to attach to their Wiis.
Yeah. What's next?
But yeah, that's not the only thing with Nintendo this week. Nintendo is not the only one getting sued. They're suing. So, there was news. I got this from Engadget. Nintendo has agreed to a $2 million settlement on intellectual property lawsuit against a site called Uber Chips. According to the court documents obtained by Torrent Freak, Nintendo has filed a lawsuit against Uber Chips earlier this year in an Ohio court, claiming the site sold products from hacking group Team Executor that allowed customers to install and play pirated Switch games.
Interesting. I saw last couple of weeks ago somebody made a hack that you could run Nintendo Switch games on your phone as well, on like on an Android phone. So
Okay.
it's going really interesting. Like a lot of people are trying to hack the Nintendo Switch.
Well, if you go full screen on this RCM loader is everywhere. It's on Wish.com and AliExpress and eBay and everything. And then this is their more like, I don't know, professional version. I think it's the same thing. But yeah, you can load like N64 games and PS1 games to your Switch, as
Okay.
well as all the Switch games, of course.
Okay.
And yeah, Nintendo's furious, and they finally stuck it to them. I think they started the lawsuit in May, if I was reading it
Well,
correctly, and now it finally went through, and these guys got sued for $2 million by Nintendo.
well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It's usually hard to get off the pirated products. People.
No, they went through court and they won already.
Yeah, they won, but let's see if
Yeah.
like
And,
stores.
and part of the lawsuit is they actually got their domain.
Okay.
So now the domain, I checked, it's
Yeah.
shut down completely.
I just want to see like stores actually stop selling them when that's the.
So that's another thing. Nintendo is now suing all of the stores. So there's
Okay.
another lawsuit. So now everybody's probably frantically ripping these off of their websites.
as fast as they
But
can.
it was already, the damage was done. It was the same with this company. When Nintendo filed the lawsuit, they took it down, but Nintendo just kept pushing it because they're probably like, this is ruining our business. There's
Yeah.
a lot of copyright infringement right here. So yeah, let's see what happens. Who else they end up suing? But yes, let's move on to our next segment, which is arcade news. All right, and it feels like a broken record from last week. This week about an arcade called Grinker's Grand Palace in Idaho, USA. Has closed after nearly 8 years in business. I found this video. Let's see if I can play it. This video here was actually made by a local news
channel.
about a month ago. It was exactly a month ago today. And I think they were just trying to help him out, but obviously it wasn't enough. Owner Steve Barbie said that the permanent shutdown happened after a lease abatement taking COVID-19 into account couldn't be reached with the building owner. What the heck just happened on this?
Oh,
There
there
we
we
go.
go.
It came quick, he explained. We tried to secure extra time so we could find another place to potentially move to, but the landlord was super aggressive and we didn't have any time to do anything.
So it seems like a super big arcade, right? Does it mention how big is it? Because at least on the video, I see a lot of machines.
Yeah, so it's right here. They've expanded 3 times over the years, more than doubling the size to over 8,000 square feet. Fans traveled thousands of miles to visit them. They say it's 100% because of COVID, and it just wasn't sustainable to keep running this arcade with no one coming. We had people from Japan, South Korea. We had a guy from Finland come. It's actually
Was
quoted
that
this.
you, Shane?
That wasn't me.
You sure?
A bunch of people from Canada. It was a world-famous arcade. I don't think I have it in my notes here, but I think it was the largest arcade in Ohio.
Okay. Well,
Um,
it does look pretty big, at least on the video. And yeah, it's pretty unfortunate how COVID is affecting a lot of these arcades. Hopefully, soon they'll be able to figure out how to, maybe there's a new business model or somebody.
Well, no, they sold all the games.
Okay, so they had to
Um,
sell everything.
Yeah, they had to move out quickly.
Okay.
They had to take all of these 8,000 square feet of games out. And now all 308 games will have a new home in Utah. Passers-by in this area have noticed Grinker's machines being hauled out and loaded into trucks. But yeah, it's like we're seeing this every single week. There's arcades, big, huge arcades being shut down. And this wasn't the only one I found this week. There was other ones, but I'm not going to have the entire segment be about people shutting down arcades. That's a little bit sad. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But again, like we said last week, we make a kit that allows you to hook up arcade machines to the internet, and we can even turn on monetization. So if you're having some issues with your arcade, reach out to us. I think we can help you. SurrogateTV is where you can find it. All right, next in arcade news, the Guns N' Roses pinball machine.
Ah, yeah.
Slash, one of the greatest guitarists in rock history, was in Elk Grove Village, Chicago, this week to promote the new Guns N' Roses pinball game he helped design with Jersey Jack Pinball. Slash, who owns several pinball machines, says he became obsessed with pinball as an adult, turned on by the artwork, lights, and themes. It's manual, he said. You have to use your fingers to make it happen. When Jersey Jack first released the game, a Wizard of Oz, in 2013, Slash said it was one of the most beautiful machines he's ever seen. I agree with Slash.
So wait, Slash
This
is
my
a
favorite.
pinballer
Slash
himself.
is a pinballer.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's cool.
And me and him have the same favorite machine, Wizard of Oz. Most people don't agree with me, but Wizard of Oz is freaking beautiful. If you've never seen one in person,
I agree. It's a pretty cool game.
It's an
We
amazing
played it
looking
last year at the Chicago
In-
at the Pinball Expo.
Pinball Expo, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's their JJP's first music-based pinball machine, so it's going to be interesting how they pull this one off. Because
Yeah.
usually the themes are not related to the music band, so I think it's their first one related to an actual music band.
Yeah, I think so. Basically, the game plays through 21 song set lists synced with live footage from the concerts that play on a video screen. There are moving spotlights, guitar pick-shaped spinners, voiceovers recorded by Slash and his bandmates, and a panoply of band iconography, including Slash's black felt top hat and screaming Axl Rose surrounded by skulls. It's overwhelming. There's so much stuff going on, Slash said after playing the game for the first time, and chose Coma to start. It's an insane player's game. Jersey Jack sold its 500 collector's edition games, which cost $12,500 apiece, within 2 hours of going live on Monday. It's also selling 5,000 limited edition machines for $9,500 and the standard game for $6,750. The co-owner of Jersey Jack Pinball, Brett Abess, said it's our greatest hit. So I think they've sold the most ever with this machine now.
It's pretty interesting to see like what will be the actual traction as they release more and more of these or manufacture more and more. But definitely, I think they chose the really right theme.
Yeah, this
it's
thing
going
looks
well.
pretty awesome. I like the lighting and the style, and probably with Guns N' Roses music going on in there.
It's pretty epic.
Like, it looks like an aftermarket setup now with the pink and the blue, and it's cool, kind of like a hyperwave, sort of like our set. Maybe that's why I like it. But I think it looks beautiful. But of course, all Jersey Jack's pinball machines, when you see them in person, are freaking beautiful.
And hey,
they're so nice.
If anybody ordered this machine already and is waiting and would like to hook it up online, let us know, because we can help you out, and you can let everybody in the world try this Guns N' Roses pinball machine.
Yeah, we have pinball kits. We've hooked up Stern Batman already, and we have Oktoberfest from American Pinball. I'd love to get a Jersey Jack pinball machine on CERT. What's that? Yeah, Essa wants to order it already.
Nice try, nice try.
All right, now let's move on to our next segment, which is esports news. All right. Short-form video platform and global sensation TikTok has sponsored FIFA, esports team Tundra becoming the principal partner of the organization. The Tundra organization is currently undergoing a rebrand, with the TikTok partnership signifying a public launch of the new look branding. The TikTok logo will be front and center on the new Tundra jersey, and the organization will be creating a new TikTok account to produce esports-related content on the platform. So yeah, this team plays FIFA, and they got sponsored by TikTok.
It's going to be pretty interesting, because I haven't seen much of like game-related TikTok videos so far. So that could be a very interesting niche for TikTok.
I don't know. From what I'm seeing on this article, it seems that esports is already getting huge on TikTok.
Okay. I mean,
it says right here, esports has found a natural home on TikTok, with gaming content already proving to be hugely popular in our community, said Jana Uleit, head of brand and partnerships at TikTok Europe. Our users love to share their winning gameplays, rituals, and triumphs, while also watching the best in the business go head-to-head in international tournaments. We can't wait to see what the Tundra team has in store for us on FIFA 21.
Interesting. I might have missed it, but because when I go to the main page of TikTok, as far as I remember, I haven't seen much like video.
Yeah, it's usually girls dancing and doing weird stuff.
But hey,
like,
esports might be a nice addition, especially if they put it on the homepage. Let's see.
Alex, he's on it all day. He loves TikTok. But
do they have gaming news there? Or gaming? They do? But do they have like esports, like League of Legends or Dota or World of Warcraft?
Maybe I've been looking at the wrong channels. I get on there and I get the shivers because I'm so embarrassed, because it's so weird. But I think that's just showing my age now. It just seems
it's not that
cringe.
bad. Come on, it's not that bad.
TikTok is like 50% cringe at least, probably more, in my opinion. All right, next Next news.
Not your platform.
Next news. Rect Global, the parent company of the esports team Rogue and the London Royal Ravens, has received $35 million in debt financing from Summit Partners. The funding will be used in a number of areas, including hiring new C-level executives, expanding the team sales across their different teams. The capital will be used to recruit top executives from the leadership of blah, 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 blah. Summit Partners, a major investment firm that manages more than $21 billion in assets, credited the fact that Rect Global is one of the only handful esports businesses to have turned a profit, and that's why they decided to invest.
It's a pretty interesting name for a company. Get wrecked.
Get wrecked. Wrecked globally.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see how much money is pouring more and more into the esports industry. It's definitely becoming the new sports.
Especially with Corona, everybody's looking at entertainment now, and this Rect, like all these brands under here, I think they bought. I don't think the Steve Aoki was, but because I think that's an actual dude. But they bought.
Rogue is also, I think it started as like one influencer.
But now Rect, I think, owns this Rogue.
Yeah.
And now Rect also owns this Greenlit. This was super recent, this Greenlit.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like a growing thing, and obviously they proved something. They got $35 million in funding. Quite nice.
Overall, in the gaming industry or this esports, I'm kind of seeing a lot of these like syndicates forming up that buy a bunch of these brands of like influencers or esports teams. So it's like interesting how it's going to evolve long term, because there's like hundreds of these kind of syndicates, or how would you call them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what ends up in the end. Are they all gonna be fragmented, or will be there one platform for all of them?
Eventually everything sort of forms into each other, and then there'll be some winner of who owns the esports area. But I guess we're decently far away from that. It seems like it's so fragmented, everybody's trying to get their share. So yeah, but we'll keep you up to date week by week on all of this type of stuff.
That's right.
All right, the next news we have in esports is this company called Vindex will invest $300 million in esports gaming arenas. The Vindex investment holding firm is planning to invest up to $300 million in constructing sports centers for casual and amateur players in the United States and other countries. The firm has another subsidiary named Esports Engine, and the major task for this firm is to deliver operational services to esports arenas, and the arenas are organized in the form of PC gaming centers that are focused on esports. Their main focus is to bring top-notch esports to people's hometowns. He went ahead and said that the truth remains that most people cannot travel at the moment because of the health crisis, but they're hopeful that the locations will open when they have built them all, and he's convinced that the best time to lay the foundation is now.
Do they mention any cities they want to build the arenas in, or not really?
The first two are in New York for the Box. I guess that's one of the esports teams. And then the Envy Gaming in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And then they're going to establish multiple locations from there. So I don't know if the arenas are going to look like this, or is it going to be 20 people a room, and that's called an arena. But I put the logo on this because it looked like a cool photo. But interesting to see what they do. People are investing a ton of money into some arenas. But it makes sense, though. If you can own the arena and you can get the foundation, why would you launch an esports tournament anywhere else if there's already an arena? Or why would you build your own arena if they're already all existing, or in different states or in different countries? So I think we're going to see like a gold rush in terms of that as well. All right, and now we can move into our next news segment, which is Surrogate News.
Surrogate.
I'm going to do that every single week.
I got to remember this one.
Last time I had my head in there. Yes. So, in this week, like every week, we have Robot Explorer on Wednesdays. This week's Robot Explorer, Stan hosted a session where, me and Stan hosted a session where we went to the skate park.
But that wasn't it, right? That wasn't the only thing.
And then, it wasn't planned, but we then went to Subway and picked up food. I ordered food, and we told the Subway lady there
in the comments of the app order, right?
Yeah, that there's going to be a robot picking up our order, and you'll see. And then I can actually show it to you. I have the video here. But we were driving this, like we do every Wednesday, we were driving this remote robot over 4G network, and Let's see if I can
Whoa.
get this loaded up.
I maybe that should be our next car for the Robot Explorer.
I
There.
think this is the wrong link. Give me 1 second here. I think I had it preloaded. Boom, I have it. So I think this starts off at the skate park. And for those listening, you're not going to be able to see it, but you have to check out the YouTube when you can. So here we are, driving around the skate park, meeting up with the kids at the local crib. Yo. Doing some kick flips on our bot, some backflips. No, we didn't manage.
We tried.
We tried. We went over a ramp, and then the thing face
I
planted.
think it ended pretty well.
It didn't get destroyed, so that was nice. Apparently, some people were getting mad at us. We weren't there because we couldn't hear them, so we're like, whatever. But Alexi was there following the bot, and I guess everybody thought he was controlling it, but actually we were controlling it over the internet.
I asked him at first, and he said it's okay. But then later, I remember after we did the jump and broke the bot a bit,
Yeah.
I saw some messages from Alexi. We gotta get out of here. we
So-
gotta.
Yeah, so after we got out of there, we were like, what can we do next? Because we can't get into these ramps. We couldn't jump them. We just kept destroying our bot. So I was like, let's pick up some food. So we went over to Subway. And I'll start the video right where we pick up.
The sub, or the wrap. It was a wrap, right?
Yeah, I got a Subway wrap. Not sponsored by Subway, by the way.
Yet.
Yes, right here is where it is. Loading any second here. Come on. There we go. So we're inside of the mall here, and we drive up into the Subway. We get up near the counter, and there's some other people there. And here's the Subway lady who's like, I don't know, I'm supposed to put this thing on a robot? I don't know. It said on the comments. And then she didn't know where to put it. So this is like a monster truck we just hooked up this last week. And she's like, do I stick it? Like, what? Where do I put this thing? And we were like, no, we can't be able to see, but all right. And then she ended up actually attaching it to, and we can see we're flipping out on the photo because it was hilarious. And this
There's a
girl,
person recording, right?
We need to get
Yeah.
that footage from that girl.
Yeah. You should check TikTok. That's probably where it is, Alexi.
Yeah.
Snapchat.
TikTok Subway
And
hashtag
it's-
Subway hashtag RC car.
Might be going viral.
Ah, you never know.
Yeah, and as soon as we start moving, you can see the girl start laughing like crazy. Like, what? They're gonna. And apparently the sub was actually dragging behind the monster truck.
We tried to go around first just to make sure if she actually attached it to the car.
Yeah, and Alex is like, stop. Wait a minute. And then he attached it a little bit better. And then we got back to the office, and at the very end, I got the sub, and this was like tied onto the back of the bot, and it was actually really cold. So apparently driving a robot through cold weather with a sub on the back,
not
it
good.
doesn't stay warm.
Not good.
It's like the weirdest thing.
We gotta work on a new system, like with a foil around, like an actual food box.
Yeah, we need like a cooler hanging on the back with some wheels and just drag it. Maybe it'll actually last.
Yeah, we gotta try
We
it.
can pick up coffee in the morning and just drive it.
It's pretty possible. I mean, this thing goes pretty fast. So the bot you saw is the new bot we hooked up last week.
Yep.
And it goes like 50 kilometers an hour. How much is it in miles? That's 30 miles? 25 miles?
Don't ask me. I don't know the conversion.
Anyway, it's super
Pretty
fast.
fast.
You can basically go on the road with this speed in the city.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. I think we're gonna get some really cool shots when we get used to it. Because now it can go faster. It can go over better terrain. So we can try to find new places to explore.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Also, every week we have Sumo Bots tournaments on Friday, which we're actually going to have today, in about 1 hour from this time right now. Last week, these were the winners, and they won some plushies, which you can see here being thrown. Some Pokemon plushies thrown at Stan's head. I guess it was like a Slowpoke and some sleeping dude. I don't know. But yeah, Wilburst won, and then Garfy, and then Jeffman in third. And they won these plushies, and we ship them out every single week. It's a free game. So you can just tune in to SurrogateTV, and you can find it on the homepage, Sumo Bots Battle Royale.
And what do we got this week?
This week, we have, for prizes, these mouse pads. These are huge mouse pads. This is for first place. This is for 3rd place. And this one is for 2nd place. I actually like this one. So you gotta try to be good, but not too good, right? If you want to win something specifically. But yeah, I think at this point, maybe you should start looking at, check out the chat if there's any questions, Alexi.
And
we
meanwhile,
can answer those at the end.
Alexei is looking. I'd like to mention that we have a new button on our website on Surrogate.tv where you can actually become a creator. And what that means is that if you have some great idea or you want to make your own game, that would be on Surrogate.tv. We can actually help you to get the ultra low latency streaming and robotics controls. We have the tools for that. So if you click that button and you apply, we might select you and you'll be able to have your own game on Surrogate.tv.
Yeah, you'll see it on the top of the platform. You can click create a game or become a creator. I don't know what it says. But yeah, you can see that on the website and you can sign up. These are the top leaderboard right now for Sumo Bots. So the Hunter is still in the lead, same as last week. Then you got Osidi and Tsutsaka. So these are the ones to beat for Season 2 Sumo Bots, where they're going to win some really cool prizes as well at the end of the season. When does the season end, Stan?
The season ends at the end of December. I believe it's 11th of December, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
And the prizes, if you're wondering, are replicas of the Sumo Bots themselves. So the 3rd place gets a fully 3D printed replica of a Sumo Bot. The 2nd place gets a replica where the top is 3D printed, but the bottom is an actual metal J-Sumo robot. And the 1st place gets a fully working Sumo Bot replica that you can hook up yourself and drive around and fight.
Nice. This is the top clip of the week. We got this sent in by Jeffman. If you play any of the games and you get a clip, you can clip it on Twitch or just through screen share. This one is really cool. That was shared in our Discord community, which you can see here on the bottom in this hashtag surrogate specific media. And maybe we'll feature you next week if you send some videos there. But check this out. So in the middle there, you got Tsutsaka, which is number 3, I believe, in the leaderboard. And then you've got Jeffman coming up on it. Everybody else kind of just died. And then you have this one, this Boomaria pushes Jeffman up, which then knocks him into Tsutsaka and makes the win. That was a really cool move.
Yeah,
You're never going to be able to repeat that again, at least not on purpose. But it was a pretty cool clip to see from the Sumo Bots.
I mean, the timing was just on point, right?
It was perfect. Like right at the last second, nudged him up. So it was like a death save. Like, oh, you got keep going. They were not on the same team, so I don't know why Boomaria did that. But yeah. So thanks, Jeffman, for the clip. And now I got something cool to show you also. We posted this, you can't see it, but it was in the hashtag short team videos. What is this? We made this, and we're testing this right now at the office. But can you guys in the chat guess what this is? Like,
is it gonna fall? Is it gonna fall?
What is this
Boom.
thing that we're working on here at Surrogate? Huh. It's like
maybe it's one of those Google 4G solar planes.
Maybe it's like a robot waiter who serves you Pikachus, and it's like, sir, your Pikachu, sir.
Oh well, thank you.
Did you want it toasted? I'll take it back.
5 said it's Pikachu Throw Simulator 2020.
Pikachu
Oh yeah, that's
Throw
true. Have you seen
Simulator.
on the community?
Ah, that's right.
Somebody made like a
Proco made a
like a game box.
True. Yeah, it was pretty funny. If you want to check it out, go to the Discord community. There's a game box featuring this Pikachu thing. It's pretty funny.
Here's where guessing correct. Probably for a claw machine. Close.
I don't know.
Maybe.
You gotta
maybe
do your
not.
guesses in the community. All right. To end our podcast, we're gonna end on a really cool note. We got this really awesome robot kit from Ross Atkin at Smarty Presents or thecraftyrobot.net, and it's this really awesome low-cost robot that you can build yourself, and it has like its own ready-made Arduino. I can show you. These are GIFs, so I'll click on it, and you can do this kind of telepresence with your phone on these this kit. He sent us 2 of these. Really nice guy. This Ross. And then you could even 3D print your own and put your phone there and have this mini telepresence bot. And then he even made one that's like a sumo bot on the bottom. You
it's-
can flip people, and it's cardboard.
It's pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
how that it's made out of cardboard, because at least for me it feels like, you know, you're not afraid of breaking something or working with this because it's cardboard, you know. There's nothing could go wrong somehow.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, you replace the cardboard. But here I have the kit, and he made his own board here that's like kind of like a cute. It's got a face with the light up eyes on it.
But it also has a
And-
bunch of electronics, right?
Yeah, there's some
the-
motor drivers on here to control these really simple brush motors. And yeah, I mean, it's all pre-cut parts. And we got to build one of these. I know there's one over there being built.
we are nearly done with one, so
But everything is perfectly cut, and from what I saw, this was on a Kickstarter campaign. It just ended, but you can still buy it on his website, thecraftyrobot.net. But I think he made his own cutting boards for these cardboard, and really cool project. Really low cost. It's like his own version of an Arduino that's just set up really nicely and cute. Worth checking out. Really nice guy. Super creative guy.
I think one of the interesting ones I saw, they actually hooked up. So they use like, I think like potato. They made a potato bot. So they use this as like a face.
On a potato?
And then there was a potato with
Okay.
motor drivers inside, with motors inside. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. So yeah, let's jump to the comments. Does anybody have any questions, Alexi? All right, then let's move on to our last slide here. And thank you all for tuning in today. We'll be back next Friday for next week's news. If you aren't already there, join our community at discord.gg/SurrogateTV. You can follow us on all social media at surrogate.tv or SurrogateTV. And remember, in just under an hour, I think it's just in 59 minutes, we're going to be starting our Sumo Bots Friday tournament, which I'll be hosting this week for those prizes. And you can head over to surrogate.tv to take part in that free game. But yes, this was the second episode of the Ninja Robot podcast. This is a weird looking camera right now. And have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week.
Bye-bye, everyone.